masses.
Good afternoon and welcome to ATN Society Watch. This is a program where we ventilate societal issues, give them aggregate attention with a view to proffer solutions that will benefit humanity. Now to the headlines. In Delta State, man kills buries friend over 30 million naira. Domestic violence, Ebonyi man allegedly kills wife over yam. Stampede tragedy, presidency criticizes Obi over comments on deaths. In LGBTQ, Trump vows to halt transgender lunacy. Remember, we are open for advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product, service promotion, and commercials. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network on Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1 on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. I'll go on a short break. When I come back, I'm going to share who my awesome guest is. Please stay with us. Thank you so much for staying with us. And here with me in the studio to dive into this discourse is Mr. Nwambugo Indubusi. He's a ghostwriter and entrepreneur and a social analyst, a regular at our show. Actually, I'm so glad to have you here with me today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Now, straight to the stories. Man kills buries friend over 30 million naira. Delta State was gripped by shock as the Commissioner of Police, CP Olufemi Abaniwanda, revealed the arrest of 4 suspects connected to the gruesome murder of Paulinus Okon. The chilling tale of greed, betrayal, and ritualistic killings unfolded during a press briefing on Monday, painting a horrifying picture of a crime that has sent shockwaves through the state. Paulinus Okon, reported missing on September 8, 2024, had gone out with his trusted friend Efe Onitiyi, only to never return. Initially feigning ignorance, Efe played a sinister role in the disappearance and eventual murder of his friend. Efe even brazenly approached Paulinus' family multiple times, demanding large sums of money under false pretenses to locate the victim. He first requested 500,000 naira to consult a herbalist and later extorted over 20 million naira in ransom, claiming he was negotiating with kidnappers. When suspicions finally fell on Efe, his arrest led police investigators to a web of conspirators. During interrogation, another suspect, the Kemute Gaga, confessed to the unimaginable. Paulinus had been lured to a shrine near the Okere River in Otokutu, where he was tied to a stake, beheaded, and his body discarded into the river. His skull was later buried at the shrine by a 30-year-old herbalist, Lawrence Joseph. Gaga revealed that Efe masterminded the murder after swindling Paulinus out of 30 million naira, meant for a property purchase. Rather than fulfilling the agreement, Efe diverted the funds to buy land and construct a duplex. Overwhelmed by the fear of being exposed, Efe decided that killing Paulinus was the only way to cover his tracks. Under the direction of CP Abaniwanda, the DPO Ekpang, alongside the dedicated team, police team launched an intelligence-driven investigation. Their efforts culminated in the exhumation of Paulinus' skull from the shrine in Okutu. The 4 suspects include Efe Okemute Gaga, Sunday Ikpeba, and the herbalist Lawrence Joseph are now in custody. Speaking to the media, CP Abanewanda expressed his resolve to ensure justice for Paulinus. This heinous act underscores the depth of human betrayal and greed. We will leave no stone unturned to ensure these criminals face the wrath of the law. The incident has left the Okotuku community and the entire Delta State reeling. Paulinus, betrayed by his closest friend, becomes a grim reminder of the lengths to which greed can drive individuals. Residents have called for justice and stricter measures to prevent such tragedies in the future. This case serves as a stark warning about trust and underscores the critical role of community vigilance in uncovering and preventing such atrocities. Mr. Indibisi, what are your thoughts on this story?
Well, this is an example of what is happening in our society. You know, many people disappear, many people get killed, people die. We don't know what killed them. So I think I applaud the security personnel for carrying out very thorough investigation that found out what was happening or what's really happened. So this is a business. What led to this man's
It's a business transaction gone wrong.
To tell you how dangerous people, how dangerous some people can be, especially businessmen. Was it last year where I had a story where a businessman was killed, you know. So when you are doing a business, you need to be careful. You need to be careful of whom you are doing the business with, because so many people are bad. In this life we are living, so many people are bad, especially in this part of the world. People can do a lot of things because of money. So when you are doing any business, no matter how small, you need to be careful. There are people that cannot be trusted. People that don't earn your trust, you don't have to trust them.
All right.
Yes.
But the story said this man is his best friend, so they must have had some kind of a history.
Yes.
Right?
The fact is that some people, when they are relating with others, they don't pay attention to little details. People's reactions, people's attitudes, people's worldviews. You know, through what somebody said, you can decode what that person is capable of.
Now, on one hand, we have the issue with the fact that the guy was killed based on business. Now, what are your thoughts as regards ritual killing? Because his head was cut off, his body was thrown into the river, and his head was taken to the herbalist Lawrence, which is a very, very confusing situation, given that the name of the herbalist is Lawrence Joseph, and he's a herbalist. You know, his head was given to the herbalist Lawrence Joseph to bury. What are your thoughts on that?
And the question is, to what end? Did they behead him for what kind of ritual? They want to kill him, they want his head to produce money?
It has to be for something of sorts.
So the fact was that guy, the friend, the DFA himself, just simply wanted to eliminate the guy. So any other thing that followed, I don't think that's really important. The guy wanted him dead. That was the target, to remove him so that he could not ask for his money again. So, but the issue of ritual is getting involved. They didn't make the story clear. Nobody knows what.
His head was actually taken to a shrine for ritual purposes.
So, is it for protection, or is it to protect himself against maybe the consequences of his actions.
Now,
to make money.
ritual killings has been quite alarming in recent times. Do you think all of this actually stems from this greed? Because for this man to have gone this far, you swindled somebody and took 30 million. You went ahead to collect ransom from their family of 20 million.
That's 50 million.
That is 50 million in total. Why are people now currently driven by greed?
You know, just like we discussed the other day, modernity has a lot of drawbacks, a lot of disadvantages. What we see people riding cars, we see people living in posh houses, we see people, you know, looking rich. So all these things, and how we flaunt, how many people flaunt money in public, cash, all those things. So if you're not careful, if you're not somebody that believes in hard work, if you're not somebody that is not easily attracted by material things, you'll be moved. And you not most of these guys, they don't know that even if somebody comes out in public to spray money, spray millions of naira, he must have worked for years. He must have built the source of the wealth for years. So these guys that don't have, how can I call it, laziness or poverty of the brain, that they don't know that you can't just wake up in the morning and you want to be rich. So that's what drives these people. They want to be rich overnight.
All right.
So that is the fact. But for a society to be good, people that are concerned need to keep talking. We don't need to keep quiet.
You know, for this man to have given that guy that money, it's based off of trust.
Yes, that's trust.
What then is the role of trust in friendships, in relationships? What then? How do you build trust to somebody that you can find accountable?
You know, just like every other relationship, every other thing involved in relationship, it takes years, it takes time, it takes tests, a lot of tests, whether planned or unplanned tests, to know the kind of person somebody is before you can trust. I don't easily. What happens is that I trust people. I believe people are good humans. I guess it's not that I begin once you see somebody for the first time, you begin to suspect the person. But over time, you will discover the kind of person somebody is. Well, you just be open with somebody. When they do something, just that many people are not sensitive. Somebody may make an utterance. You need to read the meaning of that utterance. Somebody may do something. You need to know why, the meaning of that thing that person has done. So from there you can know if he's your friend. You know how to go about it. Relate with the person.
Thank you so much for your insight on that, and I really hope Paulinus gets justice. We'll go straight to our next story. Mr. Joshua Nwanfo, a 40-year-old man in Ebonyi State, allegedly killed his wife Charity over a dispute about a tuber of yam in Sokara, AZ South local government area. Married for 17 years, the couple had reportedly lived peacefully until the tragic incident. Eyewitnesses reported that the argument began when Joshua brought out yam to cook, but Charity expressed her preference for roasted yam and proceeded to roast it. This disagreement escalated into violence, with Joshua reportedly dragging his wife into their room, locking the door and beating her to death. Ebonyi State Police Public Relations Officer DSP Joshua Okwando confirmed the incident, condemning the act and promising a thorough investigation. He assured the public that the suspect would face charges in court. Domestic violence. Yesterday, there was a report about a woman setting her husband up on fire. Today there is a story about a man killing a woman because of yam. Why is there a divide in marriages these days? What do you think has prompted it? Where marriage is usually based off of, we earlier talked about trust. You trust someone, you say, okay, I want to spend my life with this person. And you guys start this marriage journey together. Why or at what point do you think things completely fall apart, that people become so violent?
Well, when in a relationship, when you are just dating, a lot of people hide their character. A lot of people hide who they truly are. So it's when you now marry, when you marry somebody, you know the kind of person you marry.
Right.
But the man himself, he went too far in reacting to what the woman did. What the woman did was bad, but he himself went too far.
Now, when you say what the woman did, yam is not necessarily, it's not noodles.
Yes.
It's not a small thing, as it were, right?
He could have cut off her own part.
Right. So why do you think why would food be a reason for someone to kill another person?
Well,
Given that these people have been together 17 years, 17 years is a while.
In marriage there is always power tussle. So the man felt that his authority had been compromised. He believed that the woman had undermined his authority. So that's why he reacted like that. But the truth is that many women now want what they say to stand. I think that's what they are looking.
When you say they want what they say to stand, are you saying that they do not want their husband's opinion to be viable at all?
If you look at what happened, you see that the woman wanted wanted her own choice to be done. She wanted the yam to be smoked.
So where is now the role of compromise in marriage? Where is compromise in marriage?
Marriage can and me respecting you as my wife. But some people want to they say, if it doesn't happen this way, if it doesn't happen the way they want it, there's a problem. So and this mutual respect we are talking about, if the woman had respected that, okay, now on Facebook you hear some women, some ladies say, respect is earned. That means if the man respects me, I will respect him.
But now, you agree that
which is true.
Okay.
I getting it, but to respect you first, to respect your own opinion first, before you are not ready for that.
Why do you think because if you meet somebody, when two people meet each other, people get married on several bases. Some people get married. You usually say that a man likes a woman first by her outer appearance before they check into her behavior. Now, let's move away from the scope of what's attracted this man to this woman in the first place. But 17 years it's supposed to have been a long time of communication, of understanding each other. They didn't just wake up in the morning and say, okay, we are marrying. Even if they woke up in the morning, something must have sustained them for 17 years, which I'm going to go very soon. I'm going to want to hear your thoughts as regards when this act happened. There's a lady in Abuja that I think she was sentenced to death a while ago. She killed her husband. She was pregnant at the time that happened. Now there is a child. The thought of what happens to children from these relationships, was where I was headed in my next question.
And that, the Bible says a wise woman builds her home, while the foolish one tears her home apart.
Do you think this lady told?
Now, right now, she has destroyed her home.
Why?
Because of yam.
Why do you say she destroyed her home?
The home has been destroyed.
Why is violence on the part of the man the best way
hold on. What I'm telling you is that you don't, if you know what will cause violence, you avoid it.
You cannot blame a victim.
I'm not blaming. I'm blaming two of them here.
Because you can't say
she instigated it.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Right.
In fact, anybody that does what she did in marriage is not serious Is not serious about that marriage.
What happened to being begrudged?
But what happens is that as a man, when a woman misbehaves, you know how to control yourself so that you don't do the extraordinary. If you don't control yourself, as a human being, you may do something that may result to something you are not expecting.
What do you think the fate of these children will be? If children in a family know, they will grow up to hear that
their father killed them. Forever and ever, they will not forgive the man.
Even if they get to forgive him, don't you think these children are going to reciprocate the same behavior of abuse?
Now, if I don't have any biological evidence, any clinical evidence to suggest that violence is inherited.
Not necessarily,
but people can, from training.
Where I want you to come in from is, children are usually a product of things they see while you can correct a child for so long. The child will not adhere, but if they see you doing something,
it's good to have a sense of judgment.
Okay.
Many of us grew up seeing our parents quarrel, you know. But when we now, maybe some of us supported our mothers.
Right.
Because children are always on the side of their mothers. So when you now grow up as a man, you begin to say, so this is what my father was seeing. Because it takes a man with high level of tolerance to live with a woman.
Right.
But women, sometimes, they do something that may get you offended.
Men don't do anything that get women offended. I'm just asking. Do you think men don't do anything that get women offended?
Marriage is not a battleground for authority.
Right.
Are you getting it? But some women now see it as a kind of they are rubbing shoulders with their husband. If you respect your husband, if the woman had respected her husband, she wouldn't have demanded to roast the yam. Are you getting it in the first place?
Okay.
Now, if where worse would come to us, she would say, "Okay, give me my own part." Are you getting it? Give me my own part. Let me. I won't eat the one. I don't want to eat cooked one. I want to roast my own. The man would, okay, take your own. Let me. This is what I want.
Right.
But the woman to go ahead and collect and roast the entire yam.
I want
to. When a woman wields power, women wield the strongest power in the world. Are you getting it? But it's not physical power that women wield. When in technology, we have software and hardware. Are you getting it? We have software and hardware.
Right.
The software, just like in artificial intelligence, we have a robot. What controls the robot is the software and not the hardware. Are you getting it? So, if the software is soft,
right.
If the ware is soft, you will control the hard.
Now, I want to ask you one last thing. What are your thoughts as regards anger management in the face of conflict? People walking away, not to, because we can dwell on this, saying the woman disrespected. Where is the space of anger management for men? Because lots of abuse going on currently.
In marriage, if you don't have, I've said it before, if you don't have high level of tolerance, if you're not somebody that is soft at heart,
right.
that you have love for people, marriage can bring the worst out of a man.
All right.
Are you getting it?
Right.
A woman can bring the worst out of a woman. There are some women that until you react, when they start talking, they can't keep quiet.
So what happens to
They
ignoring?
want you to even, they will tell you to beat them.
What happens to ignoring?
Now, that is it. But I know that every woman is not like that. Are you getting it? Many women are living in peace with their husbands.
Right.
Many women are controlling their husbands indirectly. It's not juju, it's not magic. If you take away a woman's femininity,
Right.
if you take away her womanliness, she's just she can't achieve anything as a woman. So when you are a woman before a man, you get the man. But when you want to be a strong person before the man, you will lose the man. No matter what you do, a man can never bow. What is inside the man can never collapse for a woman.
What do you mean collapse?
I guess it cannot bow. If you use any means to do it, nature will turn the man to something that at the end of the day you will not gain anything from the man.
Do you believe that all human beings are equal?
Everybody is created equal.
Right.
But in marriage, there is the head, but there is no tail. There is the head. In every society, there is a leader.
Okay.
In fact, any family, any society that
Now,
doesn't
what
have
does
leaders,
leadership
they
constitute to
perish.
you? You know that leadership is supposed a servant.
Yes, Obama once said that leaders oftentimes follow rather than lead.
Exactly.
So
so why isn't that inculcated in the marriage stream as opposed to
that is it. Now,
people thinking it's a battleground and a place to demand respect? And you're here to answer my question as regards how do you manage this anger? Where is the position of walking away from a dispute like an adult should,
now,
instead of taking a woman into the bedroom and beating her to her death?
If it had been another person, another man, the man would just abandon the yam.
It's food.
Are you getting it? He would just walk out. He will not eat the yam again. But if you are, some people have, some people are temperamental. If you do something to them, they react spontaneously. So that's what happened to the man. Many men would react to beat the woman.
Do you think this is the first time this man is beating this woman?
That was not the first time. But it shows you that now I think you're a woman. For the incidents, what the woman did shows you what the kind of woman she had been to the man for years. Being stubborn can break a man. When a man loves a woman,
what do you mean? What do you mean being stubborn?
That is out of stubbornness, insubordination. Are you getting it? The man says one, you are saying two. Let's do it this way. He said it must happen. I'm telling you that some women go to the extent of telling you that it must happen the way they want it. This is what they call mutual respect, but that is not mutual respect. If you respect a man, you wouldn't challenge. If the woman respected the man, she wouldn't challenge the man. She wouldn't have opted to eat roasted yam.
For every woman that gets to challenge
I'm not saying that
it's okay for them to die.
I'm not saying that what you want, you cannot have what you want. But marriage is all about compromise.
So are you saying that for every time women should challenge men, it's okay for them to be killed?
I hope you understand what I'm saying. You don't kill a woman because of her attitude. You don't beat a woman because of her attitude.
What do you do?
That's what makes you a man. You can use you can walk out of the environment.
Okay.
You can just ignore her. I met a man at Lele. He was telling me how he lives with his wife. Anytime the wife starts nagging, makes him angry, he starts drinking. I told him, how did you always drink? Are you getting it? He said, my wife led me into drinking. I beat her once when she was pregnant. In fact, I lost myself. But when she now told me, she later told me that you knew I was pregnant and you beat me. that statement touched him. So anytime whether she is pregnant or not, anytime she makes him angry, he will just walk out.
So if that statement did not touch him, probably he would have continued beating. We go straight to our next story. Abuse is becoming a serious problem, and I feel men should act as men and do better. Let's go to our next story, please. Trump vows to halt transgender lunacy. President-elect Donald Trump, following his 2024 electoral victory, has pledged to enact significant restrictions on gender rights, targeting military service, educational content, and athletic participation. Speaking to a crowd of young conservatives in Phoenix, Arizona on Sunday, Trump promised immediate action upon assuming office, framing his proposals as part of a broader effort to dismantle what he termed transgender lunacy. Among the measures Trump outlined were reinstatement of the ban on transgender individuals serving in the military, prohibitions against discussions or representation of transgender issues in schools from elementary to high school levels, and codifying federal recognition of only two genders, male and female. I will stop the transgender lunacy on day one, Trump declared to enthusiastic applause from the crowd. Trump's proposal comes amid increasing polarization over transgender rights in the United States. While Democratic-led states have passed laws expanding access to gender-affirming care and protections for LGBTQ plus individuals, Republican-led states have enacted bans on such care, restricted LGBTQ plus discussions in schools, and barred transgender athletes from competing in gender-affirmed categories. Just last week, Congress passed a defense budget that included provisions blocking funding for specific gender-affirming care for the transgender children of service members. This inclusion of such measures underscore how deeply entrenched transgender rights have become in partisan debates. Trump's pledge to reinstate the ban on transgender military service marks a return to a policy he first implemented in 2019. The ban was later reversed under President Joe Biden's administration. What are your thoughts on Trump's on this story and Trump's assertion as regards there are only two genders, given that we are right now in a society where we have transgender people, we have non-binary people that would rather be addressed as it, them, they, and all of that. What are your thoughts on the story?
Well, I believe he's trying to fulfill one of the promises of his campaign.
Okay.
You know, he wants to please the what they call them in America. The word has escaped me. But he's trying to please Christians in America, the evangelicals. Now,
when we talk about him trying to please Christians, this LGBTQ, as it were, it's not necessarily an accepted thing in the Muslim in Islam. It's not necessarily accepted in Christianity.
What happens is that...
But that doesn't limit that they are also human beings, right?
Yes. You know, President Trump, just like I said, is trying to please the Christians called the evangelicals in America.
Okay.
Because that's what he promised to do. And this is what they have been clamoring for. The elimination of LGBT rights in America. But yes, I support what he's doing.
Okay.
It's not that, well, I can't say that I'm supporting it. What he's doing is good.
Okay.
Are you getting it?
Why?
The Bible says in the beginning God made them male and female.
I want to ask you a question.
So, but
the Bible
in politics,
okay,
that is from the religious point of view.
The Bible was written by men.
The Bible was written by inspired by the Holy Spirit.
Inspired by the Holy Spirit.
But that is religion.
Okay.
In politics, you don't bring religion inside politics. He is using a political platform to express an ecclesiastical policy.
Okay.
The office of the President of the United States is not an ecclesiastical platform. where you stand and make a religious order.
All right.
So the Constitution, we are there to defend the Constitution first and foremost. And the Constitution of the United States says all men are created equal and endowed by their Creator to achieve, to go for anything they want, for liberty and so on and so forth. And you don't discriminate against anybody because of their gender, because of their ethnicity, because of their sexual orientation or age, whatever they are.
Now,
but everybody under the law is equal.
Now, one of the things that Trump, has hammered on in this new revelation he's brought up, and what he's hammered on even during his campaign, is the change of gender, which is also equally allowed for children to say, okay, I woke up this morning and I think I'm a girl. So the parents take these children with public funds to change, their gender to whatever gender. That's on one hand. That is one of the things he's clamoring that will no longer be allowed, right? The other thing is in sports. Now, there was this uproar during the Olympics about a man fighting a woman against a woman because he's a transgender woman, right? But originally he's biologically a man.
He's a man.
He's a transgender woman. What makes a woman a woman? When you see a person, there are certain features that we come with biologically that endears us as women and as men, right? But now someone has transgendered, which is not necessarily. It's not necessarily against American laws, as it were.
No, he changed. I know.
Now he's saying those athletes will no longer be allowed to perform under the gender they have now, become.
Now what they change is their physical body. These people that are transgendering into something that they are not, what they are changing is their body or their bodies.
The bodies they were assigned to might be male or female.
The energy that is built into a man is still there. The reasoning, the emotions, the hormones that are found inside a man, they may be there. They are there, so they cannot claim to be women because they have changed the physical.
But most times they take hormone suppressants.
They can take all those things, but yet put a woman, a naturally created woman, and a transgendered woman, put them into an activity. You see the energy. One will be walking like a robot, while the other one will be walking like a normal human being. Are you getting it? So they need to take all those things into consideration. But the idea of using as a politician, when you are a leader for everybody.
All right.
You are not a leader for the Christians alone. You are not a leader for the Muslims alone. You are a leader for everybody. And now, if you take a look at the history of America, when what caused the Civil War was the abolition of slavery by Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln looked at the Constitution because when you are sworn into office as a president, you read the Constitution and interpret it and use it to make your policies. So he looks at the Constitution. The Constitution says that all men are created equal. All human beings are the same, are equal in terms of having rights, in terms of moving about as free human beings.
Right.
Are you getting it? So why should a particular set of the country be free while the other set is not free? So he interpreted the Constitution like that and abolished slavery. President Lyndon B. Johnson did the same thing in 1965 when he signed the Civil Rights Bill into law that allowed blacks and other minorities to vote in America, to vote and to be voted for in America. Obama did the same thing by looking at the Constitution, that the Constitution said that nobody should be discriminated against because of who he is. And he used that portion of the Constitution to sign a bill into law, giving these people rights. Not to, the bill does not say men should marry men, women should marry women, but these people in society, they should be treated equally like human beings. And so what happens
already, do you know the LGBTQ community, it's you know, they are clamoring for basic freedom of expression.
So, yes,
you know, they've been clamoring.
They in workplaces.
Okay, look at they feel stigmatized. What do you think this policy would do to that body currently?
Now, what happens is that a lot of people, they are trying to stifle people. What happens is that a lot of people now will be hiding to express themselves, to express their identity or identities. Are you getting it? So many people will now hide. When you make it open, people will feel free. If you look at CNN, we have Anderson Cooper, who is an anchor. He's a gay. If you look at the CEO of OpenAI, he's a gay, and he's doing wonders. Are you getting it? So you don't stifle people because you want to promote a particular religion.
When you say you don't stifle, do you agree that, you know, LGBTQ is being taught in elementary to high school?
No, even if you are teaching it, you don't teach it for people to embrace it. Are you getting it? Now, what happened to other?
I want to understand what you mean when you teach math in school. It's because you want the children to have a knowledge of how to do it. When you teach in school, you're a teacher.
Yes.
You're still a teacher.
Yes.
Yes, you're still a teacher. Anyhow,
yes, anyhow.
Now, do you think that teaching LGBTQ ideologies in elementary and high school was a good idea? Because that is also one of the things that
teaching it in school,
yes, was
will help you to know about it. Do you understand? Then, if you have that kind of hormone that tells you that you are not what you look like, are you getting it? You know how to go about it. But saying that letting people know about it will push them into doing it, I don't believe so. Those people, how many people have gone to the space after studying physics?
Thank you so much for your input on that story, Mr. Indemisi. Guys, this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Atlantic Society Watch. I'm really grateful to you for all of the insights you share on during our shows. It's always a pleasure to have you join us here. We're open for advert placement, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product, service promotion and commercials. Remember to connect with us on all our ATN socials, on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter, we're on Atlantic TV Net. Remember to watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnet.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so much for watching. I am Otaria Benjamin. Please stay with us.